Hello, and welcome to the Book of Endless Pages. Today, we're going to be covering Knights of Wind and Truth, chapters 3 and 4. Let's jump right into it with the snippet at the beginning. The change in Odium's vessel is talking about Taravangian. We saw this happen at the end of Rhythm of War. The big question here is who her voice belongs to. Earlier, I was under the impression that the wind was on her, but perhaps it's someone different. Baito Mishram, maybe? Jumping into the chapter itself, Shallan is still being dodgy about her past. The events with Testament are still unclear, so there are definitely more secrets to find here. But honestly, there's just not that much to grasp onto for theories. Wit is getting very involved, and it's throwing me off. Don't get me wrong, I like Hoyd. Hoyd for president. But it wouldn't surprise me if we reach a point where he's a villain, and we find out that he isn't as magnanimous as he appears. Honestly, villain may be a bit too strong a word. An antagonist. Not quite an anti-hero, but he has his own agenda, and we just don't understand it. I'm really curious about how much of a threat the Ghostbloods will end up being. I hope they aren't relegated to something like the Sons of Honor. There's been a lot of talk about how powerful the Ghostbloods are, but I don't really feel like we've seen it. All the impressive things we've seen, honestly, have been from Shallan, and Shallan has done a lot, but outside of Shallan, the Ghostbloods have been very lackluster. And that force that we've seen, the main driving force of the Ghostbloods, that's now against them. One thing that I thought was really interesting is Shallan has a moment where she talks about how she's had to kill all of her mentors, with Mraize potentially being the next one to fall victim. But Wit has also been her mentor. Could this be foreshadowing about Shallan killing Wit? I don't think so. But it is at least worth mentioning. Now this is where we get into some of the more theory crafting stuff. Kaladin knows what happened with Mishram, and reveals that she is trapped in the spiritual realm. How she got there is anyone's guess, although I do have a video coming out shortly that explores the possibility that Honor put her there. And this could be the thing that caused Honor to be weakened enough to be splintered by Odium. Now this isn't a review, I do these things as sort of just pointing out potential theories. However, I do want to take a moment to mention how much I just love that Maya is being more talkative. We get quite a few lines from her this chapter, including actual memories from her. I was shocked when she mentioned knowing Collect from before the Recreants. Speaking of Maya though, here's a quote from her that I thought was really interesting. It is because, Maya said, humans have no honor. The god, I mean. I heard that Mishram had been captured. I heard that the Radiants would destroy the world. That was why I decided I was done. She shook her head. I don't know it all. I'd like to, considering what breaking the bond did to me. We're going to do a deep dive in another video of the timing of the Recreants, the false desolation, the humans coming to Roshar, and everything else related to that. I think there's still some more secrets here that we're all missing, and it's definitely worth being re-examined. The wind stopped talking not because of Odium, but because of people who began to fear her. This, in my opinion, once again points back to the winds being Mishram. Mishram had always talked through the wind, building her connection with the singers, and once she started giving forms of power, she started getting feared. I don't believe she did something similar to the Fuse, though. I believe she did something more akin to the High Storms. In the Eshonai Treaty flashback, back in, what was that, Oathbringer? Gavilar refers to the Pershendi as previously being vibrant. Then Eshonai realizes what Gavilar's trying to do and tells her that they abandoned those gods. Wit says that the wind speaking happened long before honor or cultivation, but I believe Mishram got so much power by taking advantage of the primal force of Adonausium. In fact, this may even cause a change in Odium if the Unmade were to fuse back with him. Wit also seems a bit unsure if either him or Kaladin will survive this. If you've seen my previous video, you'll know I have a theory that Cal will survive this book. He is supposedly writing Wind and Truth, so he should technically have to survive the book. However, I do have some other theories about the name. Something I don't believe I've seen before, and these chapters make me more and more certain that we are all misunderstanding the title and what it means for this book. But that's all coming in another video. If you enjoyed everything here, I hope you like and subscribe and join us next time so that we can all become a little more quantifiably invested.